They always say that to create, you need time, a quiet space, a schedule, a clean desk, a place where your ideas can land peacefully, without noise, without pressure. If I'd waited for that, this podcast would have never happened. My house isn't calm, it's alive. It's a home with 4 kids, mornings that start way too early and nights that end way too late. Homework, practice, appointments, laundry. And in the middle of all that, a fire. A fire I just can't put out. A need to speak, to create, to build, even if it's messy, even if it's chaotic. Not because it's easy, because I have to. So today, that's what I'm talking about. Not productivity, not algorithms, not hacks. I'm talking about real life. So here's what it looks like when you create in real life, not in theory. First of all, there's something I need to say. Something I didn't phrase right or didn't explain clearly. In the very first episode, I talked about the end of my professional basketball career. And based on the feedback, some people thought I'd stopped playing completely. And that stuck with me. Because no, I have not stopped playing. I'm still on the court. 3 practices a week, games every Saturday. I run, I defend, I talk, I show up. I sweat like I used to. I feel it like I used to. But now it's different. There's no career to protect. That performance pressure that used to cling to you is no longer the same. And yet, I still play with the same intensity. I play free. Free to fail. Free to just be a guy who loves this game. Free to reconnect with the essence of what basketball has always given me. Grounding, structure, inner fire. Because deep down, basketball isn't just a sport to me. It's an anchor, a language, a way to breathe. So to everyone who's asked, no, I haven't hung it up. I just switched jerseys. And now I adapt with the projects, with family, with fatigue. But I play. Back then, basketball was my life. Now it's a part of my life. And I want people to know that because we've got to stop thinking that turning a page means ripping it out. You can keep walking with your previous chapters. You can reshape them, give them new meaning, but they stay with you. And that's not weakness, that's strength. My week is a puzzle, not one of those cute Pinterest boards with color-coded blocks. No, a real puzzle. Pieces go missing, some don't quite fit, others show up at the last second. Monday morning, 5:30 a.m., the alarm goes off. 6:50, I'm already sweating at CrossFit. The house is still asleep. I didn't eat anything, my legs are heavy, but I show up because it's the only time I can move before the chaos begins. 8 a.m., I'm back home. Then comes a morning rush. Breakfast, backpacks, missing shoes, quick hugs, then peace, or some like it. From 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., the kids are at school. And that's my window, my rough draft of a workday. I've got an entrepreneurial project to push forward, content to create, 1 episode to write, another to edit, emails, research, a to-do list that never ends, but time goes fast. And usually, just when I hit my flow, it's already time to pick them up. 5 p.m., we had the kids' basketball practice. 6:45, we're home, homework, playtime, baths, dinner, the second shift, as they say. And if I don't have basketball practice that evening, I might actually make it to bedtime rituals. Story, hugs, a quick chat about dreams and nightmares, then silence. But it's not over, because 8:30 p.m., that's when my third day begins. I open my laptop, I reread my notes, I edit an episode, I do what I couldn't during the day. Sometimes I push through till midnight, sometimes 1 a.m., sometimes I crash. And that's one day. Now, you get what I mean when I say I create in chaos. I create between the lines, between obligations, between moments, between breaths. I build a project in fragments, but every fragment matters. And I tell myself, it's not smooth, it's not perfect, but it's alive, and I'm not giving that up. I used to wait for the right moment to create, when the house was quiet, when I had a 4-hour block ahead of me. Perfect light, full energy. That moment never came. At first, I saw that as a failure. I'd think, not today. It's not ready. I'm not ready. But with time, I realized something. The right moment isn't alignment. It's a decision. A choice to create with what you have, not against it. To say, I've got 25 minutes. I'll write what I can. I don't have all the footage, but I'll start with this scene. I had to adapt. Not out of luxury, out of necessity. And that's when the project got real. Less polished, more human. When you don't have time to over-polish every word, you say what matters. When you don't have 100 takes, you go straight to the point. And what you release is not just content, it's a piece of you. Now, I create in discomfort, in the blur, in fatigue, but that's become my language. And honestly, this constraint gave me something I never would have found in comfort. Truth. The truth of what I live. The truth of my rhythm. The truth of what I feel when I hit publish, even if I'm still unsure. Creating like this strips you down, takes off the filters. You don't build a brand. You tell your story. You show up. You hold the line. And every time I do that, I remember why I started Pure Exchange. Not to impress, to connect. Some days, I break. I wake up already behind. My to-do list stares back like a mountain. I have ideas, but no energy to execute. Sometimes, I just want to disappear for a while. And in those moments, temptation creeps in to say, what's the point? No one's waiting for this. Maybe I'm just fooling myself. I open my dashboards, 16 views, 3 listens, 1 comment. And that old reflex kicks in, that performance mindset. The athlete in me wants proof that the effort pays off. A curve that climbs, a sign, a win. But here's the truth I've learned. The hardest thing for a creator isn't failure. It's not even criticism. It's silence. The silence after you hit publish. The silence between 2 ideas. The silence where you're left alone with what you just put into the world and no one answers. And in that silence, you better have a reason. Not a strategy, not a growth plan, a real reason. A why that numbers can't give you, but a heartfelt message can remind you of. Because even on those days, small lights show up. A message, a sentence, someone saying, thanks, I feel this too. And suddenly, things align again. You remember you're not doing this to perform. You're doing this to reach, to say out loud what others are carrying in silence. So yeah, I break. I doubt. I'm human. But I keep going. Not because it's easy, because it feels right. And sometimes, that's enough. People ask me, what's your content system? How do you stay consistent every week? And I wish I had a clean answer. A nice workflow, like Monday I write, Tuesday I film, Wednesday I edit, Friday I publish. But the truth is, my system is survival. I do what I can. I improvise. I adjust. One day, I write at 5:30 a.m. because an idea hit me while brushing my teeth. The next, I try to edit between two school runs, only to push it back again because one of my kids is sick. Sometimes I'm in flow. Sometimes I'm in fog. And I go with it. I don't have a team, no editor, no assistant, no manager handling my notifications. It's just me. Me and the energy I've got that day. Me and my notebooks full of drafts. Me and the windows life gives me to create. And I've stopped fighting that. I don't try to produce like the others. I don't squeeze myself into a routine that doesn't fit my life. Instead, I follow one simple rule. I create when I have something to say. Not to check a box, not to feed the algorithm, not to fake control, but because in that moment, I've got something to share, a message, a spark, and that's enough to hit record. So yeah, I create without a perfect schedule, but with a rhythm that holds. week after week. It's consistent in one way. I show up. I share what I live. I pass on what I learn, and I build one step at a time. If you're still here, thank you. Thank you for listening all the way through, because what I shared today isn't a tutorial, it's a mirror. Maybe you're juggling too. Kids, a job, a side hustle, doubts. Maybe you're telling yourself, I don't have the time. But you've got the desire, and that's a start. Creating a chaos isn't weakness. It's proof of strength, of intention, of honesty. So keep going. Even if you move slow, even if no one's watching, even if you're filming from your car at 11 p.m., what you're putting out isn't just content, it's you. And that's worth everything.